You are now listening to No Dumb Idea. No Dumb Idea. No Dumb Idea.
You are now listening to No Dumb Idea.
Yes, you guys walk into the bar, and in the bar, in the tavern, I meant, you see a big burly guy behind the bar, and you approach him. It's I, Dala the Goliath bartender. What shall you want, weary travelers?
I think I would like a scone. Do you have scones?
We have scones, but only the cranberry one.
Fuck! God.
Yeah, it's not quite popular, I'm sorry.
I hate cranberry.
What about you?
I guess I'll have the cum, please.
Okay, that makes sense.
Would come,
Yeah.
yep. Definitely got plenty of those. And how about you, weary traveler in the
Do you
back?
have cheeseless cheeseburgers with no meat or bread? I'm on a keto diet.
That's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I understand. All right, you got to roll for that though.
I gotta roll for it. What do I?
Yeah, you got to roll
what
for
do I
it
roll?
for we have it in the menu. D20.
D20?
You could just roll right.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a 20. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a ninth
All right,
one of the
the bar-
night. Wow, that's crazy. Okay.
The bartender hands you exactly what you wanted.
Wow, my cheeseless.
All right, weary travelers. Tell you what, I have an adventure for you. Today, you're going to talk about D&D and draft the best Dungeons and Dragons experience. But first,
I drink Gib and GymleaderNate's glass of cum.
to whom am I talking to? Oh, you drink, yeah.
I knew you couldn't resist, Gym Leader Nate. So in that cup of
Sure.
cum was poison,
Mm-hmm.
and you have 24 hours to find the antidote. So that's right. I'm
End
taking
of this
over the
episode.
episode. The episode's actually about Gym
Ah.
Leader Nate
Hey, topical.
drinking.
I have to not die. Joke's on you. I'm immune to cum poison.
And we also have a super special
Oh
guest.
yeah, my name is Viv, longtime viewer or listener, I guess. First time attendee.
Yeah, our first.
First time. And only. But thanks for joining. I wanted to bring a good friend of ours, Viv, over for today's topic. We're going to be talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and particularly the role of the dungeon master or game master, as some call it. I'm curious. What's y'all's preference, DM or GM?
DM. I don't think GM is.
I like sticking. Yeah,
You like what?
most of the people I know who use GM, it's because they use more systems that aren't Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
They'll use like GURPS and stuff more
That
often,
makes sense.
so they call themselves GM. But since I usually like operating within D&D, it's definitely DM.
Yeah, DM for sure. It could be Dungeon Master, Dungeon Mommy. I've heard Dungeon Docen. I like that. That's from the NAD Pod.
What?
If you've checked that
DD?
one out, I highly recommend
Interesting.
NAD Pod.
Dungeon Docen.
Good.
No.
Dungeon Docen, yeah.
And what's
I
a
don't know why.
docen?
I like it.
Dungeon does.
And then Dunkle, Dungeon Uncle. If you're
That's
not like
good.
the normal
I like
Dungeon
that.
Oh, I like
Master.
that. Dunkle. That's a good one. Yeah.
Dunkle.
Remember, DM your DMs, your dunkles.
You know, one thing I wanted to say, I guess side note, I should have said it when we introduced Viv. I do think it'd be it'd be fun to have a lot more like I guess since we have a handful of listeners, have them on the show and be like, okay, let us know about what you what are your thoughts on this episode?
on this
What are your
episode?
thoughts on that?
Oh, I meant this
episode?
one that you're in right now.
Oh, to have an interview, like, where did we fuck up?
Well, it's our
Yeah.
other guest, Lag9K, has been wanting to do that, where he comes onto the show and tells us what we got
Oh.
wrong about
That's
I like
honestly
I'm down.
pretty great.
That's a good.
Like, No Dumb
Oh.
Idea gets fact
I
checked.
do want to say the episode you had where you did all like the twists One of the movies you didn't
Twistery.
bring up was Charlie St. Cloud. I thought that was a really good, like, kind of twist movie.
That's the only one we forgot.
A
Actually.
lot of
Forgot
the
how that one
movies.
ends.
Like, if you go into it not knowing that there's a twist, it's not as fun. But I was, like, very surprised when I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, Charlie St. Cloud. Zac Efron is the star in that movie.
That's I was about to say that's a deep cut because that was Zac Efron like fresh out of a High School Musical. So the
High
amount
School
of people who
Musical.
saw that movie is very low.
My bad. Anywho, D&D.
Anyway.
GM, DM.
Yeah. What's y'all's experience with D&D and specifically the DM, the Dungeon Master component? Because all three of you have been.
Only just now hearing of it.
Yeah, it's first time, first exposure.
What's Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. D&D, drink and draw,
Quick explanation.
Dungeons and Daddies.
Yeah.
I will say,
Another podcast.
in terms of dungeon mastering, for our friends, I've done a couple campaigns that have lasted. First one, not D&D, it was GURPS, but it lasted 2 years
Just about.
during the pandemic, little under 2 years.
Very nice.
And then the Pokemon campaign lasted
Year and a half.
Over a year?
year and a half, yeah.
That's pretty good.
About a year and a half. Both of them too long.
Yeah, way too long.
I wish they had been shorter and we had gotten to a different one.
I would say a lot of that was like
would say.
poor scheduling and deciding
Yeah,
to start
which is
at,
pretty
at
common.
10 p.m. and play until fucking just midnight. And it's like, all right, okay,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah, the month in between breaks definitely, or more sometimes, would definitely affect it.
Yeah, what about you, Viv?
Yeah.
What's your DM
For my
experience?
DM experience, I think I've only done one campaign as a dungeon master, which was maybe like a year and a half as well, maybe a little bit more than that. But we did like weekly for like 8 to 10 hours on our days off.
Oh, damn.
So,
it's like,
Yeah.
we were like chugging through, hanging out.
I love that shit.
Having a swell time.
that's cool, though.
I
That
wish.
campaign,
Yeah, no.
like a lot of hours, a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah.
That's
So
how I want to
you
play
guys-
D&D, man. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, we went from like level 1 to level 12, and then lately I did try to get it back together to do like, all right, roll your level 20 or maybe 18, level 18 characters.
No, we were 20.
level
Mhm.
yeah, just roll up to level 20
Yeah.
and then play a finale
Damn.
campaign or like finale sessions
yeah.
basically.
Time skip campaign,
Yeah.
basically, where it's like One Piece where they time skip and everybody's like a million times stronger and facing way stronger enemies.
Yeah. I just wanted to challenge myself with building encounters and stuff like that. So see what is breaking the game and what's not strong enough,
I
Made me wish I was
Yeah.
a wizard, because level 20 wizards.
Oof, yeah,
Nutty.
It's insane.
OP. Nutty. Ooh, I like it.
I've tried DMing a couple games. So I've actually everyone on this podcast I've played D&D with for a couple years. When GymleaderNate was talking about the Star Wars campaign in GURPS, that was actually my very first D&D campaign. And yeah, learned a lot from that. Definitely thought I was the main character during all of that. Would constantly try to do like side quests and stupid, bits and shit like that. But it was all funny. It was all learning experience. And then after that,
It's like, to be fair, so did every other player in that play group.
Yeah.
and then when we played Pokemon, Dala was not like Dala thought that. I don't think you thought you were the main character, but everything was a bit like, yeah.
I'm the comic relief.
And I'm the funny one. Oh, that's so funny because I'm also the comic relief.
I'm the-
Oh, hey guys, are we all comic reliefs over here?
Yeah, that was the Pokemon
Yeah,
campaign.
Jesus.
Actually,
No one wants to be main character.
no one wants to be the main
problem is-
character.
My bad.
Everyone wants to just like
Yeah.
Yeah, be the
So everybody decided to make Lag 9K the main character.
Oh, the
and
captain.
about
He
it.
did not
Yeah.
want to be.
He did not want that.
Yeah.
After playing D&D for a while, I really tried to come up with my own campaign, and I did pretty extensive, I would say. Like, I came up with some maps and missions and like a lot of lore, and that was for the Evil Dead campaign.
That was fun.
It was fun. It was
Yeah.
fun. It was just everyone's schedule just didn't line up, and I think in particular
the biggest bane
In
of
particular, mine, because everyone was only able to do like Fridays. And I think at the time I was working a job where I was doing like 6-day work weeks. Like I would work Saturday and I'd have to be up at like fucking 6 a.m. So I was just like, yeah, I can't do this. And then eventually so much time passed that I just wasn't able, like the interest fell out. But in terms of like DM, what it taught me, like the little sessions that we did, obviously like improv, work on your feet, you know, find out where to pivot. Something that I would do would like, I would come up with maps and lists and like, okay, this is how it has to be, this is how whatever. And then like a lot of that shit gets thrown out the window. So something I've learned is that like just you could have just a general idea of where things are, only really care about like the most important items. And yeah, like I love art, and I think that's a big part of why like I love D&D, because I like coming up with characters and like set pieces and stuff like that. But it made me lean more into the theater of the mind, which I think is probably for the best, you know. But it's
Big fan.
yeah, no, I'm gearing up for a Mega Man campaign right now. Same thing.
Pun intended.
Robots.
Is that a pun?
Yes. Yeah. Gears, robots.
Okay.
Oh,
Geared up.
okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Gear Man.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's not a
probably
I
character,
heard
right?
something recently that's technically not a pun. It has to be something that's not the word that sounds coincidentally like that word.
Yeah.
To be a pun.
But what about the phrase pun intended or pun not intended?
Right. Not a pun.
But
So
people, I think,
that would apply
misuse
only in
pun
certain-
intended when it's not technically a pun.
Gotcha.
So anyways,
It's
I'm
still-
working
it's just a double
Well, we learned-
I'm working on a Mega Man campaign,
Yeah.
and now it's just a matter of scheduling with people. So
Yeah, the bane
Bane.
of D&D.
Yeah, it is the bait of D&D. Once we get that off the ground, though.
it's gonna be fun. Hopefully it won't
Yeah.
last the year and a half. I think a year at most. I think that's a good that's probably a good time.
Sure.
I had one more question before we jump into our activity today, our little game, is what do y'all think makes someone a good DM, or what makes for a good DM in a campaign?
Oof, Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Okay, people. We're just saying people's names. Abraham
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Google. Yeah. Ooh, he'd probably be a good one.
Jim Carrey.
Okay, all right. Next
Yeah,
question.
Jim Carrey. He's pretty good at the improv part.
So the question is what makes a good DM?
Oh, not
Yeah.
who?
Not
Sorry.
who is a good DM.
Well, Brennan Lee Mulligan is a great
like-
one, but yeah, I
it's
think
like, why is
elaborate.
Brennan Lee Mulligan a good DM?
He's
Well,
homeschooled?
it's like A of all, he's descriptive. I think being able to have a diverse lexicon and be able to describe a myriad of things in interesting ways and ways that hook your players is important. Description's also important because it's a way that you give emphasis to the story as it's going forward and what people need to focus on, because there's times where like that's a lesson I learned with my like years of DMing, which is like I can't be too descriptive of things that aren't important. Because if you get too descriptive of something that isn't important, your players will focus on that thing, and you will spend an entire session. Like when I offhandedly described an ominous black tower with no windows or doors in a town while we were playing Pokemon D&D, and all of a sudden everyone was like, "Okay, we're gonna spend the next 2 hours seeing if there's a way we can climb this tower." And I'm just like sitting there like, this has nothing to do with my story. Why did I describe it?
I'm sure that's also something you can use though to like benefit.
I just wanted an interesting set piece.
Yeah, like if you want to throw someone off or something, I'm sure that's a good
nice
way to
misdirect.
picking.
That would
Yeah,
happen
at
in Evil Dead every now and then, and then I would have to be like at that when I sensed that would happen, I'd be like, all right, give me another roll. Like I forgot if it would be perception or whatever, but like let's say you pass, and I'd be like, you realize that this might not be anything important at all.
You realize that that's just a door. Anyways,
I double down.
Something else.
it's like
that's a good.
and then also I think it's a big part is like Gibbleday was saying earlier was flexibility, because like a concept that I picked up early on that I cling to a lot is what people call, I think it's usually called like Schrodinger's Hydra or whatever. Like it's like if you're choosing left or right, it's like
the Hydra's there.
Like the Hydra's there.
Okay.
Which like if your players chose left, that's where the Hydra always was.
Yeah.
If your players choose
exactly.
right, that's where the Hydra always was.
The Hydra always was. That's pretty good. Nice. I would say for my just 2 cents, I think this is something that we haven't had an issue with, but I think just the DM being fair. I've seen a lot of like Reddit horror stories for D&D where it's like they're picking on me or especially because like sex or race or something. It's like they're like I'm the only girl in the campaign, and like whenever I want to do this, it never passes despite XYZ.
Yeah.
So I think just like having that like fairness, like the rules gotta apply to everyone. I know there's some DMs too where it's like the rules, you can bend the rules if it makes the campaign more fun or interesting.
Yeah.
Not like majorly, but
There's
just
a
like
little-
small little.
It's like every DM should allow a little bit of the rule of cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you also have to like have that precedent
exactly.
set. So like if you made this like one judgment like early on in the campaign where one player, you know, let's say they like didn't take falling damage because they're like 20 feet up instead of like 10 feet up. It's like we need to stick with the same
gotta
rules
be
because like
consistent.
I expected to use that kind of like I planned for this 20-foot jump because last session
Because
the other
logically,
player had a 20-foot
yeah.
jump, you know.
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, I think like a DM going out of their way to make sure everybody gets the same attention is also,
That's tough.
especially in big groups, is incredibly important. It's incredibly hard to do sometimes because sometimes you just want to follow the natural story, and some people take the lead on that natural part of the story.
True.
But it's like it's hard to do, but going out of your way to make sure you're constantly dragging, you know, getting the other people involved and giving them their moments is important.
Actually, you bring up a question I just thought of right now. Is what would you all say is the perfect group size for a campaign? I mean, I'm sure it's whatever, but what is like your preference or in your experience?
I think Baldur's Gate hit it on the head.
4 players, 1 dungeon master.
4 players, 1 dungeon
Yeah.
master.
I think
Yeah.
5 would.
Okay.
I think
4 or
that's
5 is pushing it, but 4 is like kind of perfect.
Yeah.
I feel like in a way, Wizards also kind of alluded to 4 being their ideal party size too, because when they made the Dungeons and Dragons, funny enough, this mechanic was not in Dungeons and Dragons set, but when they made the Magic set for Zendikar, Return to Zendikar set, they made a party mechanic, and it's like it only checks for 4 creature types, and it's like if you have
Rogue.
all
Oh, yeah.
4 of the creature types.
Assassin's Rogue, Wizard,
Cleric.
No, it was Rogue, Warrior, Cleric, Wizard.
Ah, okay. Nice.
It's like one of like magic, like sneaky, so
Yeah.
Each class.
But
You need
okay.
you need a Dex class, a Strength class, an Int class, and a Wiz class. Sometimes Charisma.
Nate, when
Charisma usually.
we
is.
did Star Wars, me, Lag9K, the guy, the person who was a Mandalorian, the person who was whatchamacallit, what was it? Kit Fisto
Twilight?
or whatever. No,
Oh.
not that.
You mean Chico?
4 people. Wasn't there another person?
No, I think it was just 4 for Star Wars.
No way.
And then there was my various self-insert characters.
Wow, no way.
Yeah, I was like, Pokemon had 6 characters, and then a plus a DM would be 7.
Yeah, that was
6-player
So that
characters
like,
was
one
a
of the bigger
lot.
ones. And that makes sense why that took a while. Yeah.
Seems like a lot to handle. Yeah.
That was hard, especially when, of course, and as every like experienced dungeon master knows, when the party got split, you know, that just made it so much fun for me.
Now I have to write 2 stories.
You know, hearing about the amount of players being 4, this is going to be interesting because we have an activity, which let me go share screen.
It's like I'm gonna make a new house rule for whenever I DM, which is if you want to split the party, that's fine. So you can go tell your own story of what your character did, and the rest of us will be playing the campaign. And if you don't want to play my campaign, then you can go play another game.
It's so funny during the Star Wars campaign. Not only did my character split from the rest of the group, but they got sent to they jumped into the past.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
So not only did the party split into 2 and 2, One of the groups was the character Chico and Gibbledang's character, who then split themselves up, and one of them jumped into a portal to the past, and the other one jumped into a portal to the future. So they just really, and again, I keep like, because of me being obsessed with like telling a good story, I wanted it to be really interesting with the things they were running into and what they were finding, not thinking for a second that they were gonna abuse that to
Split
make
up
it
and-
the most
yeah,
complicated story ever.
Well,
And I was like, oh, I should have seen this coming. Let's be real.
I at least made it. I tied it back into. I gave myself like like the Terminator origin, where I am the reason that I fucking am going on my journey. It's like a time loop or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
And then you buried yourself in the ground for like
30 years or some shit.
130
shit like
years,
that.
yeah, so
To
that you
catch
can
up with the rest.
so that you can emerge back in the future again.
Like with the main people.
Then I was just like,
That's cool though. It's cool, but it's like that is such a fucking headache. I imagine as a DM,
He clicked the like Skyrim wait button and just chose 30 years and just like
sleep. Yeah,
You awaken well
that's so
rested.
funny.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you awaken well rested for sure.
So stupid.
All right, enough of that. We're gonna get into the big topic of the day.
go.
What I'm calling either Dungeons and Drafting or Dungeons and Drafting. You know, we're trying to get legal to figure out, you know, the legality of this.
I can help you figure that out.
All
Yeah.
right, cool. Thank you. But yeah, so we're gonna do a game where you guys are gonna essentially play a DM. You're gonna be drafting a Dungeons and Dragons experience. I have 3 categories total. We'll see if we can get through all of them. You'll each start off with $100 and bid for each category.
Nice.
Each category also has like so in the first category you have 3. You have to put in 3 items per slot. The second category is 5 per slot per person, and then the last one is 2. So there's 30 total rounds. So, and you'll be it's across 3 different categories. So you'll bid, you know, highest bidder. You guys will DM me separately, so like that way the bids don't,
DM
you know,
you.
no one can see each other's bids. Yeah, DM the DM.
Is that why they call it that?
Yeah, dungeon message.
Yeah.
You gotta send me a dungeon
Nice.
message. Yeah, so you'll each start with 100. Winning bid, you know, they deduct that amount from their total, and other players keep their bidded money. If there's a character or category or whatever that doesn't get bidded on, that slot will move to the end at the end to be rebid.
Okay.
And I have some contingencies in case no one bids across and like continuously. So we'll get to that though later if we get to that. Any ties will be done with a coin flip or D6 if it's a 3-way tie, which is I'm sure unlikely. Yeah, and you can bid any whole dollar amount with coins or all that. So
Let's
any
go.
questions? Questiones?
69 every time.
Nice.
So we have $100 and
Yup. The last like option of each category will be automatically assigned to whoever has a slot open left. So
Okay.
you might get something
I
free
see.
that's good, or might get something that's
so
shit.
if I just
Nice.
want my $100 for me, and I don't,
I'll take
I'll give you 100
$100,
kisses.
Regis.
Yeah. Can I phone a friend and we just take it and fucking
Yeah, can
run
I
off?
take other people's
All right.
hundreds?
ooh,
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, the other thing I was gonna ask is if you guys do not want to bid for a character or category or whatever, can you send me $0 as a bid so that way I don't, just so I know that you are not wanting to bid.
Got it.
So, all right, let's do our first round. So the first, sorry for
I'm ready, Mr. Barker.
we have consumables and conveniences. So this first one is gonna be things like food, just things that we have, like the DM has access to. So, you know, it's not like a mandatory component of D&D, but it's always, you know, helps nice,
Snacks
like, makes the
and
thing nice.
beer.
Yeah. The first, so you each will have to fill 3 slots for this one each. So there's 9 total. So first option we have is ramen and udon. So each player will get a bowl of their soup of choice between the 2 soups in various flavors. So feel free to bid in. So, and this will be like during sessions. I know DoorDash brings
I get
all
the
a big
udon?
bowl of whichever ones y'all want.
Do,
It's like y'all are gonna do a big order of like, hey, we're doing fucking udon shop next door. Would y'all want anything?
Next door.
oof. I feel like ramen and udon
I'm
is
just gonna
not
walk
a
over.
number 1 draft pick.
Fair.
I don't know.
Just walk over.
How are we
Okay,
gonna do the ordering? Like, who's gets the first seed for the? Or is this this is like
For the
open
order?
auction, or is
Oh,
this
this-
like a
this
we
is
have
order
open
draft?
auction.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
open auction.
So everyone,
really.
Okay.
everyone DM me privately your bid. I have one currently. I'm waiting for 2 more, and then I'll announce the winners, or if we need to push this like later or whatnot.
Message sent.
All right. So I got all 3 bids. It is looking like udon will be staying on the category for later. So that will be reassigned for
It's
later.
one of the messiest fucking things.
Or
that
udon.
Literally, it's so messy.
Why the
It's like you are just signing up to have everything ruined.
Yeah.
Just imagine like slurping sounds the whole session. It's
Also-
like
Yeah,
Yeah, the
terrible.
whole session's everything
Terrible.
like.
People eating with their mouth open. Ugh.
So this will go to the end, and if there is no other ones that get pushed, like shuffled back in, this will go to whoever has the last spot open. So
Alright.
get your bids
I'm
on.
ready.
All right. Next one we have chips. So the DM chooses 3 different flavors of chips of their choosing. You know, I put some options on there as examples,
Nice.
but
All right, I'm gonna.
you know, chips are always snack food. You know, good one. Also, I ask contestants, please keep track of your own math as well. Thank you.
Track of your own math.
And where are we? Yeah, of your own money. Ooh. All right. We have a winner. So, right now we have a tie, actually, between Viv and Nate for $5, but with Gibbleding with an $8 snagging the chips.
Oh,
That's
Damn.
$8.
I was really
time for
Do you have a
second
preference on
place.
chips?
I was really.
Yeah, tied for yeah. Yeah, so all of us
that's
like, oh shit, 5. Like, ooh, we're gonna have.
My campaign's gonna suck if we don't have chips at the function. Damn.
Yeah, and who's gonna show up, dude?
Literally,
But let's find out.
I ain't gonna be there.
Next one, we have background movie. So movies will be played throughout sessions. Movies are up to the DM or player choice. So you know, if you want to set something for the atmosphere, if you want something, it's something people can watch when it's not their turn, or maybe you want to watch when there's downtime or people are taking breaks.
Controversial take. I don't think there should be anything playing while people are playing Dungeons
Same.
and Dragons. I think people should listen to the
that's
narration. And,
controversial.
like, even if they're not part of it,
Ideally.
even if they don't want to, like, quote unquote,
Yeah.
what is it, metagame? I think it's very important to like know what's happening in the story and know what other players are doing and kind of bounce off of that.
Yeah.
I have played with people in this chat when there is a movie playing, and it's very distracting, and it's very like, oh, guys, watch, like, they want to talk about the movie instead, and they want to be like, oh, guys, check this out.
You got to put a boring movie.
No such
Just pick
thing.
board
No
Dala.
such thing.
So background movies will be going to Gym Leader Nate for a bid of $2.
Nice. I didn't want an open. I didn't want the udon. I didn't want the open slot. So I was like, maybe see if I can snag this for $2.
Yeah, a movie in the background or people spilling soup in my couch.
But my key is I'm going to put on a really terrible, boring movie so that no one wants to pay attention to
Name
it.
Exactly.
Name one terrible, boring movie.
Yeah,
There you go. We'll wait.
5.
You're right. They're all amazing. You got me. every
Next
movie
option.
ever.
We have pizza. The DM chooses up to 2 different types, and from the pizzeria of your choice. It could be a local joint, could be a Domino's, could be what.
Right.
Yeah, pizza. I'm sure this is a pretty popular one. Don't forget, there's 30 categories total though too. So
Gotta save
Careful
my
with your
money.
spending.
Yeah, I hear you.
because also if you have no money at the end, you're just gonna get assigned like all the slots.
Yeah, that could
like
feel
it's towards the end.
Yikes.
So, all right, bids are in. We have Gym Leader Nate with an 8. We have the lovely Viv with 12.
What did you do?
And we have the
12.
amazing Gibbleding with 25.
25.
25.
I'm thinking
A quarter of-
realistically of how much a fucking pizza costs.
No,
But
we're
I
not spending
probably
money on the
shouldn't be
real
doing
pizza.
No,
It's like, wait till later on where we get to like dice.
You've-
still haven't
You've
listed
already
dice.
spent
You might need those.
$33. You have
Yep, 33.
67 left.
32.
yeah. Whoever doesn't have dice, they just like, all right, pick a number. 7. Yeah, sorry, your ace. You didn't pass. Damn. Pick a number between 1 and 20.
20.
Ah, damn.
20. 20.
Yeah. Man, they keep flying through my session like nothing.
Right.
Yeah, this is going really fast.
Got the best snacks though, that's for sure.
That's true. Yeah.
True. So far, all I got is
Yeah.
is a movie in the background. Viv's got nothing.
I
And
got
Gibbelday's got
absolutely-
all the snacks.
Oh yeah.
So currently we have Nate with 2 categories open, Gibbelding with 1 category, and Viv has all 3 categories at this
I'll
moment.
find it.
So ready for the next one? Yeah, no, there's some good ones. We still got plenty. All right, next option: beer/seltzers. So the beer or seltzers of DM's choice for type. The DM can choose between 1 24 pack or 2 12 packs, like 2 12 bottle can packs. And let's
It
see
is
what we
in.
got.
Dang. I'm gonna have $100
This
ready
is-
for
this-
later though. Once I find out really good pick, I'm gonna go straight for $90.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, true. Yeah, at the end you'll have your money. You can just carte blanche what you want. So here's the order we have. We have Viv with $6 bid, Gibbelding with a $9 bid, and Gym Leader Nate with 15.
Let's go.
So
There
we got
go.
beer and
Worth
movies
it.
or seltzer beer
I'm never gonna.
and movies.
I'm just
Sounds
not gonna
like-
host the campaign. I'm gonna attend the campaign as a player.
There you go.
Yeah.
I can't wait to bid on games, unlimited games, but no games.
I will say the winner will be the campaign that I want to join.
Ah, that
It
makes
sounds like
sense.
it's gonna be the one with the least amount of D&D and the most amount of movies, which seems like your thing.
Well,
Gonna be mine so far.
they have
Movies and
beer.
beer.
You just won. You got the beer. now?
Beer. Come on.
Gym Leader Nate.
Yeah.
All right, next category we got monitor. So the monitor can be connected to the DM's computer to play audio, visual, or indicate player placement, movement. Player placement or
That's
movement.
pretty cool.
It can be a touchscreen or small. I think up to a 55-inch. But I also did note that the monitor cannot play movies, shows, or other videos. If the DM attempts to play one of these, their biggest player gets pissed and punches a hole in the monitor. So,
Wait, does that
just to differentiate
okay.
from background movie. So you can play like a
Okay.
touchcreen on the floor, or like on the table. You can have it up,
and
like,
a background
display.
movie over on the other way? Yeah.
You cannot have the. Well, I guess if you won, you can have the background movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but
other
it'll be somewhere else.
Yeah. Me and Gibbelding did one with one of Gibbelding's roommates where he used like the big monitor he had, and it was like super cool to see. Like just like he put up a map and player placement, the little thing. I mean, I know when you would do it too, we would have that eraser board, which was like,
Yeah.
great just for like visualizing. So I'm always a big fan of like.
It was
That.
very different to see it on a screen like that, because you'd see like moving mobs and
It's big,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. But like I said earlier,
Ah.
Yeah.
I've
Not
really
necessarily.
come to appreciate the theater of the mind.
Yeah, I like that personally.
All right, we actually have a tie. So Gym Leader Nate bid $2, where Viv and Gibbelding bid $8.
So we have to bid again,
So
or you
no,
said
Viv, heads or tails?
Ooh, tails
I'll
never
just do a coin
fails.
flip, make it quicker. Yeah, that's you're our resident guest.
Put me down for
listener.
tails every time.
And
miles
Heeds always leads, so let's
And-
do it.
That is a winner for Viv.
Hey!
Viv gets a monitor.
More like heads always
And I
dead.
get to spend Gibbeldang's money for it, right? Since we tied.
Totally.
No.
No.
Alright, so I'm down to 92.
No, sorry. It is typical rules where.
Always trying to spend my
All right,
money.
let's check out our next. We got 3 more left.
It'll just have a picture.
So
of my
Viv
map.
will be getting 2 of these, where Gib and Gym Leader Nate will get 1 each.
Oh.
So the next one we have miniatures. So it's little, figures. This includes the figures or like little dioramas. If you can have it be something crazy like Dimension 20 has, or you can have just the simple little miniatures that stick out. Players either as little icons or just as player placement movement.
Okay.
All right, okay.
It was always fun making little miniatures for. I think for Gibbelding's Evil Dead, I made one for my character, and I think I bought everyone else some too, just if they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
My character was a horseman.
Ooh, but not what you think.
Yeah. Think BoJack horseman, not
Mm-hmm.
not a centaur.
like just head of horse. Just
Uh-huh.
nice.
But it was a unicorn.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
I was a
This
unicorn-headed
was-
paladin.
yeah.
I do like the idea though of like half horse, half man, but it's like down the middle, like left, right.
You were
It's like a
you
Cronenberg
were a
monster.
horseman from Sorry to Bother You, basically.
Yeah, I liked that movie. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Incredible
Yeah.
twist.
Giant
I was
dick
gonna say
included.
giant fat cock.
Sure.
Miniatures will be awarded to Viv for a bid of $9.
Put them on my touchscreen
Nice.
monitor.
That sounds
Makes
That is
sense.
actually smart.
Makes sense.
You do. Yep, you do have that. All right, we have last three categories. We have drugs.
Oh.
The DM can choose up to 2 different drugs of their choice, including alcohol or excluding alcohol. Sorry. Some examples include weed, cocaine, coffee, MDMA, etc.
coffee.
Oh man, I get any choice, then you know I'm
Dealer's
bringing
choice.
everybody Adderall.
MDM. Yeah.
Ooh,
For
that
real.
is.
You're
Yeah.
gonna be locked into this
It
campaign.
can be like-
Let's go.
And honestly, maybe some Zoloft, because I think that'll do everyone some good.
I'm just bringing everyone like freaking Lexapro. No.
Lexapro.
What if you're playing
All right.
Dungeons and Dragons? You're depressed. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Dunsons?
Dunsons.
Dunsons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Blazing Seattles. Can you call the episode Blazing Seattles instead of
I think that was before the episode was recorded. But I guess now people have the context.
No, they don't.
All right.
Now they
Viv.
know the things to talk about.
Viv, you have now locked in drugs as your third option, your third seed.
God damn
So
it.
we have Viv. She has a monitor with little miniatures and some fucking pills or whatever on it.
So I get
And
to
use
choose
the pill-
2. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, whichever two. It could be like weed,
I'll choose
coffee,
later.
just outside. Yeah, it's
Caffeine
no
is
big
one
rush.
of the drugs. Oh,
That's
come on.
yeah, I know.
Coffee's a drug.
I know. Coffee's my drug.
Coffee's a drug. All right, we have our last two, with one of them being
Jesus.
udon.
Does Jesus or God count? Because he's my drug.
He's your drug.
What about love?
Religion.
Love is my
Love drug, yeah.
I mean, if Viv wants love at her,
I'm gaga
DM.
pilled, so love drug is definitely.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. This is our last category that will be bidded on it, unless no one bids. Then I guess Viv, you don't need a bid. Just
Wait, I'm stuck?
Gym Leader Nate and Gib. Yeah, you got the 3. Sorry,
Yeah, you have 3 already
that's the downside of
for this group of
getting-
items.
Yeah, but don't worry. We're almost done with this category. The next category is my favorite.
Okay.
But before then, we have cookies and candy. The DM can choose up to 2 candy and 2 cookie types or flavors.
Cookies.
So is it gonna go to Gib, who has chips and pizza, or Nate, who has movie and beer?
I'm just gonna make edibles one of my.
I have chips
drug
and
choices.
pizza.
Drugs,
I
yeah.
guess.
You could. It's exclusively edibles though, so everyone's just fucking high out of their gourd.
I'm like out of their gourd. I'm like a fucking elementary school party or something. I just have chips and pizza, and then maybe candy and cookies.
Yeah. And then candy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, you want to come over for candy? I have chips and pizza.
Well, unfortunately for you, Gibbeldang,
There you go.
Gym Leader Nate won that bid with a $10 bid.
Okay.
So Gym Leader Nate,
Give it in.
you have cookies.
I wanted to make sure I
candy.
got candy and cookies. I love cookies.
He needs some type of food.
What's your favorite cookie?
I did. I needed something for people to not just be super drunk. They need something
Yeah.
to absorb that
That's
alcohol.
so good. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cookies.
so Gibbeldang, you have a nice fun party of cookies, pizza, udon, and chips, pizza, udon, and ramen. A lot of carbs.
Well, that's fine.
Slurping.
Honestly, if people
That's
could
good.
be snacking, like that's a great
Yeah.
time.
No, yeah.
Pizza or ramen?
All
That
right,
sounds fun.
that-
That sounds like a. That sounds
Oh,
like
you
a.
got
yeah.
that pizza?
That sounds like a
Me,
stomach.
me personally, I dip my pizza in my ramen. So.
Yeah, that's because you're a
Yeah.
disgusting animal.
Get to try it.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's
The
probably
cookies
pizza
get
flavor
dipped in the
ramen.
beer.
Cookies and
Yeah.
beer.
Ugh.
You gotta get a Guinness, so it's like nice and thick.
Ooh, that's fair.
There you go.
All right, anyways, you're making me hungry. We gotta move on. We have the
Next
best category. Yes, players and party. So I've created 15 different. So there will be 5 each. You each have 5 slots. Same rules. If no one gets drafted, they move to the back.
Mm-hmm.
And so these will be the players in your campaign. So let's see. Our first contestant we have is Baz.
Number 1.
Baz.
He's an Australian anarchy punk.
Okay.
A very chaotic and anti-establishment in both game and real life. Needs smoko breaks every hour,
I've
but
already
will
played
share
with
smoke.
this guy.
Okay.
I was about to say I've played with this
I'll
person.
go beat off the path.
Yeah, we'll go off the beaten path, separate from the group as much as possible. And they play a barbarian, or he plays a barbarian.
I've already set my
Same.
bid.
All right.
Same.
Okay.
The free cigarettes, I'm gonna put.
Free cigarettes.
All right.
He
We have-
shares his smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll
Shares
smoke.
his smokes.
He'll bring, he always brings.
Oh, but we'll share. I didn't see that. Yeah.
So we have a tie between Gibbleding and GymleaderNate for $0, but Viv took it home with a $1 bid.
$1.
You got Baz.
This
Nice Australian.
No,
This-
that
This person is
This
problematic.
is
Very problematic.
That is a net negative.
Yeah, that's
to
a
your
net
campaign
negative.
day.
You will be
Reminds
waiting
me
for
of-
hours. They will be like, I'm on my way.
They will show up 3 hours
Yep.
late.
Yeah,
like-
just wait until I get
That's
there.
the
Wait
type of
until I
person.
get there.
Yeah. Hold on.
They're in Australia. They're logged in on the freaking Zoom call.
No. Let's see who we got for our second option, though. Schmimp. Schmimp is a very nerdy and familiar with D&D. A pushover and will do whatever others insist. Has asthma, which will cause him to go into coughing fits.
Oh,
around
no, it's
smoke.
me.
Good at mid-maxing.
Mid-maxing?
Always wet, but not for the
Mid-maxing?
same reason. Yeah, mid. Sorry, that's supposed to be min-maxing.
Okay.
But wants to play a druid, but can be persuaded to play whatever.
Let him play Druid. Come on, Schmimp. You can play what you want.
you
This
want.
is a fun table here.
I figure in case you get like a team of all like barbarians or druid, or I guess all the druids, you're like, shit, I need to like switch this up.
So
Actually,
I've already got Baz, which means I feel like I shouldn't bid for Schmimp.
I mean, send me.
Unless you want a Baz Schmimp combo.
I mean,
Yeah,
Barbarian
it
Druid
depends.
seems good. And he's going to push over to whatever Baz wants to do, which maybe I'll bid. Yeah, it's fine.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think I'm a
All
Schmidt
right.
guy.
No. Well, that's good because that is going to go. Schmidt's going to GymleaderNate
No.
Let's go.
for a $5 bid.
All right.
It's a pretty good.
Anybody who's extremely familiar with it and is flexible, like
That
I'm
sounds
probably
pretty-
gonna take. I'm gonna want that person in my campaign.
Yeah, just bring a tarp, put under him at all times.
No main character syndrome, and already knows the rules. Ugh.
True.
Thank you.
Support. Yeah.
Fair.
All right, let's see. And I will say a lot of these characters are probably going to be pretty bad, so we'll see. Though. We'll see. I try to give some pros and cons for every single one. So, like this next character we have is did it?
It's
Dala, did you draw
frozen.
these?
I did.
I drew them.
Nice.
I will post on IG for those listeners and on YouTube.
Yeah, it is a little disconcerting how wet you made Schmimp. I
Yeah.
will say.
Always wet, but not always for the
Like-
same reason.
Yeah, like I hope in real life he's not as soaked as he is in that.
Sweat's the main one, I
Ew.
imagine. Spilling on himself was the other one.
Oh, that's a
What
good
could
one.
be?
A
Yeah,
little bit of pee pee.
those are the good.
gotta
Yeah,
be
those are
one
the
of
good
them.
ones. All right, our third option is Sam 2. So despite Sam 1 leaving the friend group, Sam 2 still goes by such. Very shy in person, but extroverted in D&D, often takes the lead. Often listening to music until her turn, so just kind of zoning out, and she plays a paladin.
Hard to take the lead while you're not focused.
But I mean, she's also not metagaming either, you know?
That's
she's just kind of...
true.
She's on her own little world. You know, maybe you need to get her attention, throw something like in her direction.
I'm gonna advocate for
Yeah,
Sam 2
it sounds like-
becoming just Sam.
You can if you win her.
Well, she decided. It says she still goes by Sam too. So
Yeah, maybe.
is
It's
what it
just
is.
If she
easier. Yeah.
wants, yeah. We'll talk about it in private.
it's
Yeah.
like it's like this is giving not paying attention. Then it goes, oh, it's my turn. I want to jump off the cliff, and the DM has to be like, you're not at the cliff anymore. Your party has moved. Your party is 100 feet in a different direction. Has to recap the last 20
Oh,
minutes because she
yeah.
was listening to music.
All right. Well, that Sam 2 will be going to Gib 2 because Gib bidded $9. So
Dang.
Nine
For-
smack.
everyone has their first
How much
player.
money do you
gotta
have
build
left,
your.
Gib?
Yeah, how much have you spent, Gibble
Let's
Day?
see.
Yeah, I'm curious.
check right now.
Let's get a recap of everyone's money if you.
I have
can.
66
Curious.
remaining.
Ooh, okay. I think it's only fair.
I have 70,
70's nuts.
73 remaining. No, sorry. 63.
okay.
63 remaining. Wait, is this my... Wait, Am I doing math? Yo, 73. I was right the first time. 73 remaining.
And listeners, that are, can you help us do the keep up the math for us and let us know?
I have
Yeah.
58
If anyone
remaining.
cheated, let us know.
58. Okay. Yeah, I was like,
After that 20,
Yeah.
25 for the pizza.
yeah, pizza did fucking cost the most. All right, next character. You all ready?
Here we go.
We have
yeah.
Tony and Tina. It's a duo. They're an inseparable couple who share a character. They have a lot of PDA and pet names during session. They're always on time, though. Tony will join, but be very judgmental of others and of the game. And they play.
So he's just kind of like over the shoulder.
They play a cleric.
Mm-hmm.
A cleric's a pretty good category. Or what is it? Class.
We do need a cleric.
But you also have Schmimp, who you can make a cleric. Or no, sorry, Nate. Nate does.
I
Yeah,
don't have
Schmimp will be
Schmimp
whatever
will be
people need.
Whatever I tell him to fucking
So
need.
I have Schmimp. Yeah.
You know what?
They share a character.
Okay. I could deal with the PDA. and
I like
pet
your
names, I feel
Gym Leader Nate.
But
I can.
Thanks.
That is
I
a
put
pretty
in a
damn
pretty
good
good bid.
All right.
Same, honestly.
You guys ready? So we have
Yep.
Gibbleding with a 0.
yeah.
Gym Leader Nate with a -50.
Oh, thank you.
And-
That's good.
Get these people away from my
and
table.
Viv wins with a $4 bid.
Sure.
You get two players for two. Well, one character for two
Yikes.
people for the price of one.
Tony and Tina. Let's go.
That's terrible. That's more mouths to feed.
I don't have
All
any
drugs,
snacks
all
in my
drugs.
campaign.
yeah.
Only
Yeah.
drugs.
Tony probably doesn't let Tina
But
drink,
Tony's gonna do the
And then you'll
lines of
see those
coke.
arguments.
But
You'll see
Yeah.
the
Tony's
arguments that
gonna be
happen in front
drunk.
of you, and then they kiss in front of you.
Yeah. Tony will
I'm gonna.
punch a hole in your wall.
Yep.
Okay. Fifth player, or fifth player. Bleth the Big. She's a veteran D&D player.
I wonder who's gonna
Yeah.
dig big on this one.
Veteran D&D player and will always cosplay and act as their character, including during chill time.
They're never
Yep,
out of
always in
character. Okay.
Very available for sessions and will get annoyed when others start late or when taking breaks. Will take over the DM, or sorry, talk over the DM
me.
and other players. Sorry, not take.
Oh, that got ruined real fast.
So we got a lot of. I mean, overtalk is a pretty common, like almost unavoidable one.
That's. I mean, yeah. Everyone's
But
gonna have to try and get the
This
words
one's gonna
in.
be like obnoxious. For
Yeah.
that. But yeah. What's our bids for Bleth the Big?
How many total characters are there?
15.
15.
This. Let me see what number we're at. This is 5.
This is number
Yeah.
5, I think. Yeah.
So everyone has 1. Then you have 2 right now. So
okay.
Viv, you have Baz and Tony and Tina, and Gibbleding has Sam too.
Yeah.
Gym Leader Nate has Schmimp. And we have all the bids in. So
Man.
we have Gibbleding with a 0, Viv with a 1, and Gym Leader Nate with a bid of 6. So Bleth and Schmimp, you have like 2
go.
veterans, like, you know.
Yeah.
That's what
That's
I'm looking
true,
for.
yeah.
That's what I'm looking
wanna-
for. I can deal with the other stuff,
Yeah.
but
They
they,
know the
already
game.
know the
They
rules.
know the rules.
Let's go.
Just
If
play.
I'm DMing, that is
Yeah.
so valuable to me.
True.
I'm thinking of the social implications of how exhausting it would be to just
Literally.
those people
That
in
is true.
particular.
I have like a
Yeah.
3
I'm
spoons.
just like, it's okay.
I specifically took Bleth because I was like, you know what? Schmidt won't fight
What
her
do you think,
for
yeah?
the main character. Like, if she wants to take the lead, he's always going to be like, all right, fine. He'll play whatever goes best with her Goliath Barbarian. So I'm like, that'll
Whatever
it'll
goes
work.
Bleth.
Whatever goes Bleth.
Whatever that goes Bleth.
Nice. That's meta thinking. There you go.
Life
All right.
after Bleth.
Number 6.
Do it.
We have Trent, homie without a shirt. He's a sporty frat boy.
Me.
First time playing D&D and needs a lot of hand holding. If there are any femme players in the campaign, he will hit on them in game pretty regularly. Will regularly bring up gym and the sports. Has beginner's luck though, and he will play whatever class race you want. 'Cause he's new. He's just
So dice tell the story in this game, and him having beginner's luck makes for a lot of fun moments for the campaign.
yeah.
It does.
But if you do,
That's
I
so
mean,
true.
let's see. We have all 3 of you already have a femme character. So he will be hitting on
Yeah.
one of them others.
I got. Ooh, Tony's gonna get so pissed that Trent's hitting on the imaginary character that they're both playing.
You don't want to see that. Ooh.
Okay.
Ah, fuck. What do I bid for this?
Please don't bid high, actually. I love
Like-
drama.
That you have to manage. I guess you're in the middle of it at least, and you can kind of egg it on.
Okay.
Too,
Yeah.
I changed mine.
all right,
I
you gonna
changed
lock
my
your
bid.
bid in. Let me give me a second. Lock it in, Pat.
Lock it in.
All right. This is actually a real close one. We have GymleaderNate with the 5, Viv with the 7, and Gib with an 8.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
let's
Trent-
go.
Trent is gonna be bashing heads with Sam too.
I see. I'm perfectly fine with not having characters who roll 20s all the time because even though that makes good storytelling, a lot of time it also just
campaign.
fucks up my plans so much.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it's funny because the more I read about the more I'm looking at this, the more I realize that this I've already played with this person and it was Chico.
It was Chico. That's so true. He had no idea what was
player was
happening
a-
all the time.
First time player. He was a frat boy.
Yeah, no,
Such a
it's so
frat
true.
boy.
He really was. Yeah.
Well, he didn't bring up the gym and sports, but he would. He'd always bring up partying and be like,
Yeah.
I got bitches.
Yeah,
I got bad
oh my
bitches. But he didn't.
Yeah,
he was
that's-
just
that
such a
counts.
fucking liar. Oh my god.
That's funny.
I loved playing with him.
But
Oh
then, of
my
course, he would
God,
go to.
dude.
But then he would go to roll, and he would like one shot somebody because he would roll a critical hit with max damage, and it's like,
Beautiful.
oh, okay.
And then he would fucking fuck off on his
listeners-
phone for like an hour.
Listeners,
Yeah.
they're actually talking about me. I was Chico. No, I'm just kidding. I know,
Oh,
damn.
yeah, you wish.
You fucking wish.
We couldn't get
True.
you to stop drawing.
Yeah, huh?
What's going
Can I
on?
do this? Yeah.
And then you're
Check
watching
this
a
out.
movie. Guys, check this out.
All right, next one we have Bellatrix Raven.
Bellatrix.
She's a very gothic and morbid.
Whoa.
Does tarot
Oh my
during
God.
breaks. Will complain about the campaign unless on some substances.
Okay,
So Viv,
what?
this might. You
I got drugs.
and
I got
GymleaderNate
drugs.
gets beer.
And I got
Uh,
beer.
Plays edgelord character and may
I
try to
can't.
kill other players in game.
Oh, that's gonna piss off Bev.
Plays
I'm all for it.
tiefling rogue.
Tiefling rogue. All right, I will go with.
That's a cool class, at least.
I would say
Yeah.
ultimately to
Kind of toxic.
I've
Kind of a
also-
toxic player, but it's all about vibes. I don't know.
It is
I
all about
also might
vibes.
have played. I've played with half of this character and like a
mhm.
couple
Oh, like
different people.
combine them into one.
This basically, if you glue, if you metamorphize, like combine this with Baz, that's somebody that me and Gimble played with.
Yeah, where it's like, okay,
All right.
What are
So
we
this
I gotta
I swing on the other party character. All right,
freaking.
They told me no, so I attacked them.
I
What?
swing again.
Me and Nate
Alright.
played in a campaign when we first moved to SoCal together, and there's this guy Nolan who is just like intentionally antagonistic towards the party
gosh.
the whole time.
The
Jesus,
entire
that's
time,
like-
like his whole and we would constantly be like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know, fucking things
Chaos.
up 'cause it's funny." Like he didn't hide it either.
Yeah.
He literally would just tell us. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just
Oh my
basically just trying to
God.
make this
And
worse."
then there's this guy who was like trying to keep the campaign together, who was playing a cleric, and he was like so upset about it. He's like like
Yeah,
he's
he
like
was
religious too.
big,
Like he was going to
big
like
mad. Oh my god.
okay. So
he's like, this isn't fun, guys.
Bellatrix will be awarded to Viv. You now have
Yeah.
Bellatrix, Tony and Tina, and Baz. So you have 2 slots open for characters or players. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I would never sit at that table so far, Viv, with your campaign.
I'm
so
trying
hard.
to challenge
Yeah,
myself.
seriously.
That is a
Holy
table
shit.
I would
Terrible.
leave after session 0.
It's such like it hasn't even started. It's barely started.
Yeah, so I just get there, meet everybody, see what they're gonna play, and be like, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
I'm busy actually.
Oh, hang on, I'm getting a call. Oh, work?
Oh, I can't.
I gotta go to work.
Ooh, hi
guys.
work. Yeah, I'll go work. Sorry guys. Okay.
Oh,
Turns out
work?
I think I'm
Oh.
moving to Japan. Okay, I'll see you guys later.
oh, work. My dog died.
Hey, my mom
Alright.
said something about something. I don't know.
Sorry, guys, my mom's in the hospital. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, we have number 8. Let's keep on track. You guys are building some good. We have Pablo, a bandito currently on the run and using the D&D group to hide. Will have a revolver with him, but does not intend to use it.
Oh my
Will
god. He might use it if I can catch you.
will barely be involved, only making decisions / like participating when it's his turn. We'll give you some stolen paraphernalia as a bribe. Does not care what he plays as well.
What kind of stolen
I
paraphernalia?
don't know. Let the DM choose. You know, it could be something. So that will give you a third drug option.
Diamonds.
Well,
He's fencing
I'll say
diamonds.
drugs or like maybe like a small cash pride. Yeah, no
I'll say-
no
sorry.
$1,000.
I'll say drugs. I'll say.
Yeah, Foghorn Lakeward number 9. Who's gonna pick?
Let me see.
That'd be great.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to check to.
All right,
let me see
Regis.
if everyone messaged in. All
Oh
right.
yeah, I submitted mine.
It looks like we have Sam 2, Trent, and Pablo together on Gibbs' campaign with a bid of 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Pablo and Trent,
Would
you know,
you-
keep them in line. You know, maybe you can like chorus them that way.
Well, Pablo's cool.
Yeah, sure.
Pablo's
He's just
not
trying to
doing
hide.
anything.
All right, number 9. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, number 9. We have. Oh, fucking come on.
Uh-huh.
This is embarrassing, honestly. I would be embarrassed.
I'd be ashamed, actually.
I would feel so
We have
ashamed.
Mia Moore,
Whoa.
a drag
That's good, I
queen
love
and
that.
often attends in drag.
Oh, come on.
Will miss 30% of sessions due to performances. Very flirty with other players and will
Okay.
try to make complicated with them.
That's perfect for
Main character syndrome.
Rtina and Troy or whatever.
Main character syndrome and
never mind,
plays a
main
bard.
character
syndrome.
Worse and worse.
He's a bard.
All right, Viv, there you go.
The Viv bait.
Missing the sessions is gonna be tough. It is bait, I know.
But also, like, when it says flirty with other players,
Yeah.
like, is it IRL
I'd
players
say
or,
both,
like, characters?
but like in person.
Okay. So when Trent tries to flirt
Sam too.
with
Mia's character.
Mhm.
like all the femme players, is it?
You have
it's
Sam 2 on your team, so yeah, that would be the only femme right now.
But that's what.
Is
that's-
Mia Moore
okay.
gonna be playing a mask character or a femme character? Because like, if you're always in drag all the time, sometimes you might want to
Switch it up.
Be doing,
I-
switch it up.
That
think she'll be-
that would be pretty great if Mia Moore always in drag was playing
That's
a character
fuck.
like Butch Thunder.
I'll let the
Like-
Yeah.
dealer's choice.
Fattest cock in
That's
the
what the
land.
DM stands for, dealer. I'll let you pick up.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Okay. Here's my
No, you're good. You're good. I think I'm waiting.
I'm Bruce Thunderjug, baddest cock in the West.
Yeah. Well, in drag. That's fucking great. All right. Ooh, this is a pretty close one. So,
Watch out for my butt.
Gibbleding, I have a bit of 0.
Yep.
Viv, I have a bit of 2. GymleaderNate, a bit of 3. So Mia Moore.
All
I
right.
thought I was gonna win it with 2. Okay.
Mia Moore will be
Damn,
going with
damn.
Schmimp and Bleth and making things complicated.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
this
this is-
Bleth is
I-
also main character syndrome.
Mhm.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Basically,
Oh, yeah.
I need one more person with main
Collect
character
them all.
syndrome so that they can kind of take it like they
Spice
can both
it up.
undercut
Yeah,
each
and then
other a little
Schmimp
bit.
is gonna end up shining the most because he's just kind of going with the flow and just playing the game as intended.
Exactly.
Al-
I'm making
Also-
a dream environment
Yeah.
for Schmidt. Really.
Also important in a campaign is to, like, I guess not to just have one person kind of feel like they're the main
True.
character, obviously. Like, obviously to have things balanced, but, like, it's, I feel like there was times in different campaign, or, like, in one campaign where I'd be like, oh man, why do I feel like I'm the only one that's, like, progressing the
Mhm.
plot or something? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
what I'm getting at? Yeah. You gotta have a lot of different people.
When Bleth is like speaking over people, Mia Moore will almost certainly like roast her.
And you
for
don't have to
it,
deal.
which
Yeah,
is-
let your players.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's like democracy reign.
And they'll also have an appreciation
they'll
for
police
each other
themselves.
because cosplay is very akin.
Oh,
to
true.
drag
Yeah, you got the
in
two
that
people
sense.
in like dressed up.
That's true.
Nice.
True.
Yeah.
You got the
They're
coolest
both
party so
campy.
far.
So number 10, this is a KDI exclusive, The Great Cop. From our autism episode. He's an autistic detective who embodies Hollywood autism.
Oh,
Sorry,
the
great
great cop.
I am a great cop.
Instead of the good,
He-
instead of the good
Come on.
doctor.
He's great with math and very logical.
Okay.
Black or white, all or nothing thinking. Will dead name others and is against others breaking the law.
Jesus Christ.
Gets upset easily and will have
Yikes.
meltdowns, but plays a cop. Whatever that means.
plays a cop class.
The KDI exclusive, our own character. We like, I think from the autism episode. You know, I'm a cop. I'm a cop.
I'm a great cop.
Yeah.
Pulls out gun.
Shoots
Ooh,
random
you
civilians.
can't bid on that, Gibbeldang, because Pablo's in your
Pablo.
party and you don't want him getting outed.
Actually, that'd be so funny.
All right.
They're just the whole session. They're chasing each other around the table like like Benny Hill style. Like
And he's gonna.
I'm just thinking the whole time Pablo's just like eyes straight like down forward, like darting to the side occasionally
with his
like
dice
sweating
or something,
bullets,
like,
like
yeah,
just
it's like- Yeah. See,
Pablo,
see.
are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. This is my
All right,
turn.
we have
good.
Viv with a bid of 0, Gibbelding with a bid of 1, and GymleaderNate with a bid of -100. So that will be going with Gibbelding.
Oh, no!
I saw the 100. I was like, this fucker. And I was like, oh, negative. Nice. All right. So you have the great
Nice.
cop. You have a good,
Yeah.
good cop.
Yeah, the
And
cop
then
and Pablo.
In terms of in dead naming, I think he refers
The
to
player,
every character
honestly, that
as
is-
the player.
Does not remember
completely
shooter.
not.
Okay.
And he's definitely not calling her Sam too. He's just gonna say Samantha.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
The only one.
true. I mean, I could not have him pulling that shit with Mia more. So
Yeah.
So we have 5 more categories, or 5 more options, I think.
Baz would kick his ass.
Right now, just to kind of recap, we have Viv with Baz, Tony Tina, and Bellatrix. So you have 2 slots open.
Yeah.
Gibbeldang, you have Sam 2, Trent, Pablo, Great Cop, and you have 1 slot open. And GymleaderNate has Schmimp, Bleth, The Big, Mia Moore, and 2 slots open. So we have number 11,
nice.
Tomathan. He's a little hunchback dude.
Tomothy.
I'll live there too.
He's very humorous, but sometimes too jokey. We'll bring a 12-pack of beer to each session, so that's an additional beer for
That's free
Yeah,
drugs
or free
for
beer
me.
for the others. Main character syndrome. Always leaves 2 hours early. Exhibits subtle sexism to femme players in campaigns. And plays artificer, but poorly.
But poorly.
So he only in campaign will do subtle it's more like a microaggression kind of thing, if that helps.
Sure.
Ugh. Okay.
He looks
get free
like
beer.
a swastika.
He kind of does.
I guess he does.
If only if the beer was on his shoulder, it would have been like.
How'd you? I had a rotoscope one to figure it
I
out, you know.
Dang.
All right,
Yeah.
we have I think all but 1 bid left. I did not register
terrible.
that,
Yeah.
so okay.
Sorry. All right.
Note to self.
Actually, I need to. My
Too late.
retract
Too late.
You're like, now that I say that, I don't know if I actually want this guy.
Wait, how much did I pay for the last
Great
character?
cop.
What was it?
Yeah, I think it was one where you
God
won
damn it.
barely. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So this Tomathan the Beautiful will be closing out Gibbeldang's roster with a bid of 8.
Oh.
So you have Tomathan locked in as your final little gooner.
Let's go, Tomathan.
You do get 12-pack of
Dang.
beer actually helps.
Honestly, I feel like I've just recreated every D&D
You did.
I fucking played. So it's not. I already know how it's gonna go. It's not. It's
Alright, so
fine.
Minus the dead naming, I'm the cop.
Yeah. for real.
All right. So we have 4 more. Gibbeldang, you're locked in, so you can sit back on your laurels and wait until the next category. Your laurels.
Sit
Can I
back on
get
my
actually
what?
before we move on to the last few? Do you mind telling me each how many? Yeah, can I get a laurel count?
Can I get a laurel count?
What about
Can I
a
actually get a
Yanny?
count? How much
many
do y'all have
laurels you
left?
What
I'm
about the
curious.
Yanny? I have 56
Okay.
left.
It's a pretty good amount. Ooh.
I have 40.
I guess that 25 pizza did rock the fucking. But hey, you got pizza and you have beer now too. 12 pack at least. And Gym Leader Nate.
Wait, did I just win the last -1?
Yes,
Oh wait,
so
I
it's
won
minus
Thomason, right?
8.
For how much?
All right.
32.
And Gym Leader Nate. How many do you have
You have
left?
32 left?
Hell
We're
yeah,
getting to it,
brother.
man.
I have 64 left.
Good console.
64?
It's quite
Good year.
Yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, 64. I have not spent a lot.
Alright.
I've been keeping track.
Sir, not
Not a high spender. All right. We have number 12. You guys ready?
Alright, here we go. Yes.
We have Brennan Lee Mulligan. Very seasoned D&D
Oh my
player
God.
and DM.
Are
Knows
you
all the
fucking
rules.
kidding me?
May go into anti-capitalist rant. Great improviser.
I think he'd get along with Baz.
He. What else? Come on. Load. God damn it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Damn.
Misses 65%
Son
of
of a bitch.
sessions due to having to record for work, and plays a wizard or
Okay,
sorcerer.
that makes-
That's the downside. So he misses
okay.
a lot. Sorry, I took a. Yeah. It's
Still.
Brennan Lee Mulligan.
So he's only one.
No, we're gonna
every-
schedule around him. That's fine.
So you're never gonna meet.
Guys, we're only meeting up when he's free, guys.
Also, you have Mia Moore, who has like 30% miss rate.
Even if you schedule around him, it's gonna be. He's still gonna miss 65%
Ah,
of it.
fuck. Fine, we're gonna
Yeah.
overschedule.
Also, the 65 could be that he leaves like hella early or comes hella late too. So it doesn't have to be he missed a session, but more that he's only there for 65% of, or I guess yes, 35
Of total
He's
playtime.
35%.
Sure.
Yeah.
Of total playtime, yeah.
God.
That's
I got-
rough.
I'm waiting for one more bid.
65 is a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna say that missing work is huge.
That is, yeah. But it's Brandon Lee Mulligan.
Nah.
They literally
is
named
Brandon
him at
Lee.
the
But it
top.
is
I mean, he's a
Brandon
player, not a
Mulligan.
DM in this scenario, but you could probably refer to him.
Still, the best players
sure,
are good
yeah.
DMs. Let's be
You
real.
could always refer to him like, so wait, how does this work? Would this pass? How much like rope would I need to do this or that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Players have locked in. We have. Let me write this down real quick. We have a bid of $16 from Viv, and one from Gym Leader Nate with 20.
Oh.
Yeah.
$4 difference. I mean, hey, that's a good bid though. That's a good take. Let's see.
I just would have liked to meet him.
Yeah, you're not allowed to go.
Well, I was like, even if he's only there 35% of the time, that's gonna be a quality
True.
35%.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
he'll
Is
set a
Joe Mangan
standard.
chill?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, Joe Manganiello.
Let's find out. With our number 13th pick, we have
Joe
R.I.T..
Manganiello. Oh.
Rats
they're a
and
bunch
or
of,
raccoons in
well,
a trench coat.
you are pretty sure they are a bunch of raccoons in a trench coat, but they deny it. Also, you do not know how many raccoons they may be, but notice that you start getting a raccoon infestation at your house. They will devour most of the food. Always available.
I don't have any.
Yeah, true. Or drugs. Has a great dice roll ratio, so like they always roll to make the session fun or interesting. They play a rogue or a monk, whichever one you need.
I already have a rogue from Bellatrix, so we'll probably take them.
Yeah, so that's why I was like, give the DMs some flexibility in their sessions.
Yeah.
So Gym Leader Nate, you have one slot open, and Viv, you have 2. I guess if Gym Leader Nate takes RIT, then
I'm stuck with
yeah,
the
then
other
you're
two.
stuck with the other 2. Yeah,
Yeah,
they could be
whatever
another
they are,
Brennan Lee
they're
Mulligan.
stuck with the
He's there though. That's the 65% that he is there. He's not with.
Oh.
It could be Brendan Lee. It could be Brendan Lee
Ooh.
Mulligan too.
The first one left the
There
friend
you
group, but he
go.
still goes by 2. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, Rit, this is actually pretty interesting because Rit is going to go to Viv with a bid of 7.
Yeah.
So you got a bunch of little raccoons in a trench coat, or at least we think
I'm
so.
all for it. This is.
Oh yeah, that was honestly my favorite character I drew. I was just like, it's fun. All right. Next, we have last 2. So
Whoever bids this one, the second one will go to the other player. So number 14, we have Greg, a human-sized minion who will follow your instructions in the campaign as he is a follower, not a leader. Does not speak English, but understands it. Will flirt and hit on any femme players in and out of sessions. So this is in and out. Plays a warlock.
Makes sense.
Just, yeah.
Banana. You know what I'm saying?
Then papaya.
Can we trade whoever? Can we trade a character? Can we do trades?
It's up to all the players. It's a unanimous.
Can we give trades? And I'll give trades and I'll buy for
Only
$5.
later in the season.
Yeah, this is the Gib bait. Is this one? The Gib bait thing. So a literal human-sized minion. He'll follow your whim, but he'll flirt on with others.
All right, I locked it
Yeah.
in.
Same.
Back.
All right. So Greg the minion will be joining the Schmimp Bleth Mia Moore Brennan Lee Mulligan camp with a bid of $4.
Okay.
4 damage.
So let's find out. So yeah, you got a good team. Let's find out what
Right.
Viv, what player Viv got
who's my final player? Ooh.
with Ratina, a human-sized rat woman in a bikini who is always chain smoking. Rude, unapologetic, and will do what she wants in both campaign and real life.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. I can do a villain campaign. This is
She will
fine.
make a lot of innuendos and will hit on the DM. So you'll be hitting
Fine. I can.
on average rolls between 3 to 13 on average, and plays ranger.
Sure.
And plays the worst class.
Ooh.
Oh,
Easy.
no.
So all right, let me.
Oh my god.
All right. I love this too.
Yeah, let me read through the teams real quick, just so you can, for listeners. We have Viv with Baz, Tony and Tina, Bellatrix, Raven, R.I.T. Raccoons in Trenchcoat, Ratina. So you have a lot of animals, actually. And you have a raccoon and a rat.
Yeah, true.
Get it? Gib, you have Sam 2, Trent, Pablo, the Great Cop, and Tomathan with some 6-pack or 12-pack. And then Gym Leader Nate, you have Schmimp, Bleth, Mia Moore, Brendan Lee Mulligan, and Greg. I wonder what Brendan Lee Mulligan would actually think about your
Fuck
team,
yeah.
your DM party.
I feel like he would set a standard for the 35% that he was there, and then everybody else would be trying to like match his level when he wasn't there.
Okay. Yeah.
Which may be a bad thing, honestly.
Yeah,
Especially to everybody trying way too hard.
So no trades. No
It's up to the
tradesies
players, I guess.
for
If you-
Greg.
What are you
Hold
trying
on,
to
wait.
trade?
What do you got? Hold on. What was Gibble Day's team again?
Before the trade, I will say we have one more category with 6 total, so you'll each get 2.
Okay.
So just so you know, you can also trade money and characters if you want. Gibbelding, your team is Sam 2, Trent, Pablo, Great Cop, and Tomathan. And if you need any recaps of who any of them are or their perks and stuff, let me know.
I'll take Trent off your hands if you want Greg.
Ooh.
What about you take Tomathan with a 12-pack?
I don't want Tom.
He's already got beer.
I think I'm good.
I want. Trent.
Come on. Is it his design?
You don't want Trent?
I want.
I do want Trent.
Or-
Problem is, Gibble doesn't want to give up Trent.
Yeah, I want Greg.
Yeah.
Any last? You can throw in
Why
some
don't you take
cash.
Sam too?
Sam 2?
Sam 2.
Yeah, do you want me to?
Yeah, can you go back to Sam 2? Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that trade.
All right.
You can have Greg too. I'll take Sam too. You can have Greg.
Dang.
Greg 2.
Oh yeah.
So you have Greg swapping for Sam 2. Any last bids before we move on to the final round?
I'm ready.
All right, let me get us there. So we have our final round, which is probably one of, I would say the characters is probably my favorite, but I will say I think the last category is probably the most important, because we're gonna find out what genres and missions. We have genres and journeys with the G.
Genres
Gurneys.
and gurneys. All right.
Okay. Swag.
There are six rounds. However, there's two different categories in this round. There's the genre and the quest, the catalytic quest, that like what kind of quest we're going on, the players. So you'll pick one genre, and then you'll bid for one genre, and then you'll bid for one quest.
Okay.
So once you have a genre locked in, the same rules apply. So you guys ready?
Ready.
We have fantasy genre. So the campaign takes place in a fantasy setting. Some examples include a high fantasy land where different nations are at war, a historical fantasy that mirrors real events, or a dystopian grim dark setting, a la like Warhammer. So this is like what is Schmimp, Greg, and Baz? What kind of campaign are they going to be delving into? We're almost at the end too, so you guys have quite a bit of money to if you really want to snag one over.
For sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So for genre of fantasy, that will be awarded to Viv with a bid of 19.
Yeah.
1999. Just kidding. 19. So all right, that's good quality fantasy.
Big fan of high fantasy, so
True.
Fair. High fantasy. All right, we have our next one, which I think is a quest, and that is a murder mystery quest.
Ooh, that's
the
fun.
campaign begins with the mystery surrounding a murder, which is the catalyst of the party coming together.
I would say that's a good one. That's pretty. It's a pretty good hook.
Yeah, it's like who did it, a who done it. You could have some red herrings, some blue herrings, some green salmon. Have the whole
Who dunced
variety.
it?
Yellowtail.
Yeah, ooh, a blue yellowtail.
Can't say that anymore.
Oh my god.
No, you can't. Everyone
just
can.
me.
Just you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, just you.
Did I mispronounce it? Is that what it?
Is that the problem? Ooh, this is a real close one. So we have Viv with the $5 bid, Gym Leader Nate with the 15, and a Gibbleding with the 16.
Damn.
So $1
$1 difference. Oh my god.
That's
How much do you have left?
We
to
have a
bid
murder
with?
mystery. Yeah, what's
I still have
Own business.
I still have 40.
Nice.
Keep getting outbid.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next one we have is another genre. So this will be between Gibbleding and Gym Leader Nate. Sci-fi genre. So this looks like a sci-fi setting, a planet hopping adventure, a dystopian future, or cyberpunk inspired metropolis, perchance. Some, just some examples. So who wants? It could be Star Wars. It could be your own thing. It could be, for these categories, they can be themed after a specific.
I wonder what the last genre is gonna be. Ugh.
Right,
Okay.
I have one bid in. I'm waiting for. All right, got both bids in. All right. So sci-fi. Gym Leader Nate, what kind of sci-fi do you want? Because you've won with the $20 bid.
Let's go.
So Gibbleding will be allotted the next genre,
I'm gonna do some cyberpunk.
which cyberpunk.
Hell yeah.
Next genre is contemporary for Gibbleding, which fits.
Actually, I'm really
Yeah.
glad that's it. Actually,
Yeah, pretty good, straightforward. We have the past, the future, and the present. Essentially, we have some examples: a seedy urban city seeping with crime, great for the great cop; a drama-filled high school, or the slice-of-life suburban setting.
Very nice.
Some examples.
Perfect for murder mystery. Honestly.
So my campaign is a murder mystery, a modern murder mystery, where one of the players is on the run and in disguise, and one of the other players
It's a
is a
cop.
cop who's actually a real cop,
and a really great one too.
Playing a cop.
and a really great one, playing a cop. Yeah,
and you have,
perfect.
and yeah, everyone's eating ramen.
I
And
couldn't be
pizza.
happier. Yeah,
Yeah.
And
and
chips.
pizza.
Oh, you got literally all the snacks.
and Tomathan brought a 12
Pack of
pack.
beer. Yeah, you have beer too. So yeah, honestly, pretty solid.
Thanks,
Like,
Thomas.
food-wise, pretty solid. All right, we have our last two quest types. So one will go to, we'll bid for this next one. The last one will be assigned. So first one of the last two, we have a survival quest. The party is somehow banded together and tasked with surviving in a hostile location for a length of time, or maybe they need to trek across somewhere for safety. But yeah, they're
Crabs.
Okay,
They're somewhere, yeah.
survival.
Or
apparently-
Krebs.
they survive crabs and people in the
Big
sky.
crabs.
I really
Scared people in the sky.
think that would benefit my players because of their playstyles, where they're all like so a little bit against each other in a way. really force them
Yeah,
to
this
work
is the last-
together.
This is the last bid, so
Okay.
if you think this is a better category than what will be the last,
Yeah,
You know,
I know that's
now's-
the issue though. I don't know if the
Let that inform you.
yeah,
What movie is this?
Survival.
Because like,
I googled survival and looked up images, and it was like, and I thought this was so fucking stupid looking that I was like, I gotta.
it's a movie about big crabs.
And they're stuck in the desert. I guess the water receded. I'm assuming because they're on a boat in the desert.
I see.
That's my guess.
My bid is in.
I would be so happy. I'd be like, oh my god, giant crabs. This would be
Ooh.
delicious.
This is an
We gotta
interesting.
take this back.
Yeah.
We're onto something.
Yeah, ooh, now we got all the water we're gone. We can eat all the fish much easier.
We should build we just need a really big pot.
We're gonna need a bigger
yeah.
boat.
Yeah.
Like if we had
Oh
an
my
ocean.
god. Make a big gumbo. A ginormous gumbo.
Giant gumbo.
All right.
Oh
So-
my god. Giant gumbo sounds good right now.
See, we're hungry. We're hungry. So this actually worked out, I think, pretty beautifully. We have Viv with a $1 bid and GymleaderNate with a $20 bid. So hence, GymleaderNate's campaign will be a sci-fi survival
That's cool.
campaign,
Yeah.
which I think makes it interesting because now Viv's campaign is a fantasy Fletch quest.
What is
So
this?
the party is called together to journey on a far adventure in order to retrieve and bring back a copy of Chevy Chase's 1985 comedy movie Fletch for everyone to watch.
What?
That's right.
Instead of a fetch quest, it's a fletch quest.
Yeah, it's a
okay.
Fletch quest. They've got a fantasy Fletch quest.
It's a Fletch
Fantasy
Oh,
Fletch quest.
Not a felch quest.
Oh, come
Sorry, I don't know if not a Fletch correctly.
You don't know what that is?
Aw.
Are we gonna make it an educational podcast real quick?
Sure.
You know, I think everybody can research that on their
That's
own.
probably.
You know, that's personal homework time.
Yeah. Your plug is for listeners to go and look that up on their own.
Felch it up.
Yeah. All right. let me
Delicious.
read everyone's campaign. So we have Viv, the wonderful Viv guest. Thank you for coming on. You know,
This was fun.
your campaign. You have a monitor, miniatures, and some two drugs of your choice.
It'll be
You have-
Coke and edibles.
Okay, that's good. That's what.
Jesus
I feel like
Christ.
the edibles are gonna really fucking knock people out, though. But I guess it will chill some of your characters down.
But what do you think the Coke is going to do?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
We're gonna
I
balance
thought
it
of
out.
that.
Yeah. True. So we have, and then you have Baz, Tony and Tina, Bellatrix, raccoons in a trench coat, and
I
Retina,
just can't wait for
who are
the
playing a fantasy Fletch quest.
fantasy Fletch.
Pretty good
quest.
team.
That'll be good.
And we have Gibbeldang. You have chips, pizza, udon, and ramen, and you got a 12-pack of beer for Greg the Minion, Trent, Pablo the Bandito, a Great Cop, and Tomathan. And you're playing a contemporary murder mystery.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward. That's pretty good combo. And Gym Leader Nate,
Manageable.
manageable. The minion will help you. You can be like, hey,
Oh, yeah.
get those two separate. Separate those two. He's gonna flirt. I guess you only have one. No, you don't even have any femmes either. So Trenton's good. He's not flirting with anyone.
I don't know
Well,
if he's good. He's probably upset, but
You know what I mean?
He's like the whole time. He's like, why aren't there girls in this game? Go.
fucking sausage fest here. 20.
Anytime there's a character you come up, like he comes up on, he's like, "Are there any girls in this tavern? Any bitches in this
Yeah,
tavern?"
every time.
And he's gonna roll well,
It's
so
like,
there
God.
are gonna be girls in the tower.
There are gonna be girls. There will be girls.
First thing I'm gonna do is get some bitches and some Alizé.
There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna roll to see if they like me. 20. Yeah, they love you.
I'm gonna
I
roll the
guess.
flex and impress him.
So it's just gonna be you and Trent's gonna be flirting with you the whole time. Give a day.
Yeah. And then we have Gym Leader Nate with movies, beer, and cookies and candy. So it's that help absorb the alcohol.
Oh yeah.
You have a pretty good seasoned team with Schmimp, Bleth the Big, Mia Moore, Brendan Lee Mulligan, and Sam too.
Nice.
And
I'm
they're playing
liking it.
Sci-fi survival. It's a pretty good.
Sci-fi survival. Like they're all crashed on an alien world and have to try and find their way off. Like
Ooh,
it's
but
like
he's
super,
not there for the last session.
and it's like
True.
Predator
God, yeah, he
style.
won't be.
Woo!
So, I guess to award a winner, I will say
I have $30 left.
Me.
I'll go with
No one
Viv.
cares. Me.
Yay!
Viv, you won.
Damn it.
As our esteemed
I
guest.
spent
Well,
exactly my whole
I
amount.
have a Fletch
to do the
quest.
zero.
Retina,
I should
even
win.
with her 1 to 13 rolls, will be able to track it because she's a ranger. So
That's true. That will help.
Yeah.
Her chosen
sniff it
prey or her chosen enemy is
It's Chevy
that
Chase's movie.
It's Chevy Chase.
I love you're in a
That's her
fantasy
favorite one.
survival.
Oh my
Like
God.
they're in a fantasy world where there's no DVDs, but they get a DVD. So they're like, how do we play this mystical artifact? But no, Viv, as our winner, how would you, do you have anything, you had to go first. What would you like to plug? Where should listeners be driven to of your making or of your interest?
Jeez. Of my interest? Well, I did mention NADPod, so if you are interested in D&D stuff, I would highly recommend checking those ones out. That's fun. NADDPOD. Don't sing yet. I think is
Okay.
All right.
And would you like
Yeah,
plug in
my
your personal
Instagram is Viv.o.jeez. I think Viv.o.jeez. You can check me out.
Go follow
Insta.
her.
I don't have
Encourage her to
anything
make
else.
music.
Yeah, I have been working on
Nice.
learning BandLab and sound production stuff.
Yeah. What about Gibbledang and GymleaderNate? Who would you like? Where can people find y'all? Or anything to plug?
Oh, you could go ahead and find me at Gibbledang on Instagram. I might be making some more creative stuff soon. We'll see. Yeah, not much else to plug this week. Yeah, what about you, GymleaderNate?
Same. Yeah, you can find me GymleaderNate on everything. GymleaderNate on everything, and I'm no one creative and nothing else on the side right now. But hopefully, I do want to start doing some stuff soon. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Once,
that's-
probably once my school is out.
Fair. Yeah, so you can, as always, I want to make sure we plug No Dumb Idea. You can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you can get podcasts. And I'd also like to plug, if you're a fan of D&D, you might be a fan of theater. And, someone special to me has a theater show coming on in San Jose this mid-May. I want to say the 15th, probably by the time this is out. So if you live in the San Jose area, or if you if you know anyone, encourage them to go see The Cake. It's City Lights Theater? Yeah, City Lights Theater Company.
Nice.
So yeah, check it out.
Nice.
Yeah. But with that said, I want to give a shout out to Viv. Thank you for coming. Number one.
Yeah, shout out to Viv.
Yeah, shout out to Viv.
Shout out to
Blazing
Raccoon.
Shout out to
Seattle.
Schmim.
Shout out to Blazing
Seattle.
Seattle.
The thing we never.
Shout out to
explained.
Schmimp and his wetness. Let's go.
Yeah, Schmim.
Shout out
Yeah,
to.
shout out
fucking
to-
Flesh
Yeah,
Quizzes.
Shout out to Greg Banana.
Shout out to anyone but Chevy
Oh
Chase.
yeah, classic.
Yeah, shout out to anyone but Chevy Chase in real life. Yeah.
Oh my god, that guy.
Yeah.
Let me know
What else to shout
Mia
out?
Moore.
What else?
Shout out to Gary Gygax.
Yeah, shout out to Gary, true. Honestly.
Yeah,
That's true,
represent.
actually. Yeah, it doesn't get
Oh,
enough.
shout out to Brennan Lee Mulligan.
Ooh, yeah.
Shout out to Brendan Lee Mulligan.
Hop on the podcast.
Inspiration for DMs everywhere.
If anyone has a connection to Brandon Lee Malt, send this to him because I'm generally curious what his thoughts are on our on his team, his party.
Oh my god.
How mad he would be.
Yeah, how bad to work with those people. Actually, I feel like he'd do it. He literally is the DM for their like drag queen
Dungeons
dungeon,
and Drag Queens. It's so
like
good.
Dungeons and Dragons, Dungeons and
Yeah.
Drag Queens. So like, I feel like it would go well.
Fair.
Thank you for listening to No Dumb Idea.